Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Ugh, no lipstick today. Oops. Oh well. This is my first sip of coffee, but that's only because I brought myself tea this morning in bed to try to extend my eating window a little bit, because I'm doing some form of intermittent fasting, but apparently not really. Intermittent fasting is leaving longer periods of the day where you're not eating. And so the food I intake between 3 o'clock and 7. So in theory, I have 20 hours where my body isn't feeding. And this is good because there are lots of processes your body has to do without digesting things. The problem is, I really like cream in my coffee, and I am very sure that cream breaks my fast. So I'm not really getting 20 hours in between because I break my fast at 9:30 in the morning instead of 3 o'clock. So anyway, so it's 20 after 11 and now I'm having cream. So my eating window is from now 11:30 to 7, 6. So that's 6.5 hours, which means that I'm only fasting for 24 minus 6.5. What's that? 17.5 hours. So, but anyway, I at least lengthened it by an hour and a half, coming up on 2 hours, hour and a half today. And maybe I'll only have tea until it's eating time tomorrow. But so far, the evidence is that's not how it's going to go. Oh, because I really like the coffee. So, of course, the solution to that is to have my eating window from 9:30 in the morning until noon or 1 o'clock. And then don't eat after that, except that I do like a cocktail. And I just don't want to have a cocktail at 9:30 in the morning. Never mind. Anyway, so this is my first cup of coffee. I think this new plan isn't going to work very well, so we'll see how it goes. But meanwhile, good morning. Dennis just got a couple boxes. He's been ordering a bunch of stuff. He's rebuilding his computer, and so we get a lot of deliveries. But when we were trying those potato chippy things, I wanted to try vinegar and salt flavor. So I got malt vinegar, and I needed a spray bottle to spray the malt vinegar on the chips. And our spray bottles are really crap. So Dennis found one, but it didn't spray very well. And so he decided to buy a few different kinds of spray bottles because he's been very frustrated with the spray bottles because he uses them in his winemaking and other things. So got a knock on the door last night. So this was Sunday night at like 7 o'clock at night. And this arrived. Guy handed this to Dennis and walked away. It had a label on it that had Dennis's name on it. It came like this. It wasn't in a bag. It wasn't in a box. It was just like on the truck with a label on it. Is that insane? I like the trigger on the spray bottle. We haven't tried it yet. I'm assuming Dennis didn't try it last night. He took the label off of it though. Not even a bag. Is that insane? Anyway, so we'll see how that works. This is one of several different style sprayers he tried. So we'll see what happens. So yesterday I had a good day yesterday, and I spent a lot of time talking to Dennis and hanging out. I didn't cook or anything, but I did knit anyway. It turned out to be a good day. Whatever I did, none of which is reportable because it's not coming to my mind. But I crafted with Christy last night for the first time in a couple of weeks, and that was fun. And I told her I finished her hat and asked her what she wanted me to do with the tassel, and she said she'd like the same yarn that started the hat to be on the tassel, and which is a very pretty yarn. And this is the yarn, but that is not a very big ball of yarn, so I'm not going to end up with a giant tassel. But I do have this yarn, which was also in my advent, so I think I will do something. I'll try to get this yarn in the middle of the tassel and this yarn on the outside of the tassel, and hope that that does the trick for her and that she likes that tassel. So I am going to be working on a tassel today. I did watch a video. So that is decided. And I'll work on that so that I can mail her hat this week, because it's been cold in Mississippi. Not surprisingly. Oops, I dropped my yarn. This is all I have left of my first ball of the pink yarn, so I have been knitting. Got my hanger. And here is my trove. Doesn't it look great? I am so excited about it. I cannot tell you. So I've just finished the second row of this dark burgundy color. I have 2 more rows of the pink to do, and then I go to my next color, which will be 1 row. Well, it's 2 rows. Each row of color is 2 rows of knitting, and some colors you have in there 2 sets, and some you have a single set. It's not obvious necessarily from where. There we go. See, that's the green that Sammy picked. This is the blue that Isabel picked, and then this is what I've knit since Saturday. I'm just so tickled with this. I cannot tell you. And I keep forgetting to mention we're having a joyous 2025 make-along. If anything is bringing you joy like this is bringing me joy, I hope you're talking about it. I haven't been on there for a couple of days, so I have to see what you guys are up to. Some of you are making troves, so I'm very interested to see what yours looks like, because this one is so different than the other one that I made. It's really fun. So I've really been enjoying that. I finished the hat, so now I have to do the tassel, and then maybe if I feel like I'm in a calm brain space, I will figure out where my Montrealer is, because I haven't knit on my Montrealer for 6 weeks. And, you know, Christmas decorating and whatever, I'm not sure where it is. I will find it and read the directions to start working on the hood. Now, I couldn't comprehend the hood when I made Isabel's version of this sweater. And did I tell you, I asked her if she wears it, because I've never seen her wear it. Oh yeah, and her dad said, oh yeah, she wears it. I said, okay, well, I'd like to see you wear it sometime. Maybe she'll wear it next time. But she was wearing the slippers we gave her for Christmas. I guess the slipper shoes. But when I was making her Montrealer, I got to the hood and it just didn't make any sense to me. I just could not comprehend what the hell they were trying to do. The hood, as written, uses short rows to shape the hood. And my problem turned, so I gave up on that and I just knit a hood. You know, knit a rectangle and seamed it up, and she has a little point on it, and it's cute and it worked great. But it was so frustrating to me that I couldn't figure it out. And after I knit that hood onto that sweater, I realized that I put the hood on backwards compared to the pocket. So when I was done, the face was here, but the pocket was in the back. So I was able to take the pocket off and put it on the front. But fronts and backs, there's no short row shaping in the Montrealer body, so the front and the back are exactly the same. So it turns out that I had completely forgotten that the beginning of the row at the neck of the Montrealer is in the middle of the back. And in my mind, it was the middle of the front, which is why when it's talking about doing short rows, it made no sense, because I was thinking the beginning of the row was where the opening for the hood was going to be. Finally clicked when I had to take the pocket off and put it on the other side. That was a strange moment, let me tell you, when I realized what I did. But anyway, so I made careful note that the beginning of the row is in the middle of the back, and that is where you start your short rows for your hood. So I'm confident that I will be able to do it, but I'm going to have to sit and read it. But first I have to find my Montrealer. So once the hat is all done and sorted and mailed, I will find my Montrealer and start putting a little bit of knitting energy into finishing that hood, because let me tell you, I really can use that sweater. The Montrealer is it's like a sweatshirt. It's like a heavy sweatshirt. It's a very warm sweater, and I'm very excited to have it in my sweater wardrobe, let me tell you. But it's not going to be in there until I finish that hood, because I want a hood. And a hood is not very much knitting. I mean, I've knit 4 hoods on this. So Leslie suggested that I just do an hour on the hood, and then I can go back to the joyous 2025 trove that I'm knitting. And if I do that, that's my reward for working on my hood. And as soon as I pick up the hood and start knitting on that sweater, I'm going to want to knit on it too, because I want that sweater. My only concern is that I have very little of the teal color left. So on the hood, the teal color is just going to be a few stripes and a, contrast color situation. So I'm going to be making it in the hand spun, the ivory hand spun for the most part, that I did the stripes on the sweater. But the hand spun is a little toothy. So my friend Simona suggested that I almost line the neck, the back of the neck that connects to the back of the hood that connects to the back of my neck, where it's most likely to touch the most, and just line it with a softer yarn. Just, knit a strip. And I have some cashmere that is almost the same color teal as, in fact, I got it from her. She has the recycled yarn company where she takes sweaters apart and recycle the yarn. And I have this gorgeous teal from her that is cashmere that she got from a sweater. So I'm going to do that. I'm a little concerned that when I wear the hood, it might seem itchy, but I'm only going to wear the hood when I'm really cold. And when I'm really cold, the itchy factor doesn't come in nearly as much as when I'm not quite so cold. So we shall see. I could end up lining the whole thing. Who knows? Hold on, I got to let Dennis get his coffee. Dennis just said you were talking about lining the hood to remind me, because I forget where I am when I stop. But yeah, and we were talking, it was like maybe I should just line the whole hood. And boy, that would be a very warm hood for sure. The color isn't exactly the same, so, but to be honest, if I'm gonna, I mean, the lining isn't really gonna show very much, so. But my question to him was, can I do the lining and the hood at the same time? Because I think I would want to knit the lining and the hood at the same time. Oh, and I can tell you that the lining is going to be a completely different gauge than the hood, because the cashmere is lace weight. Now I will double it, but now that I say that, I could quadruple it, because I have 2 nice cakes of it, and I could pull from the center and the outside of each of those cakes at the same time. And I think that would bring my yarn up to, I think the sweater is in worsted, I'm pretty sure. It's worsted. So 4 strands of lace weight isn't worsted, but it'll be closer. It'll be closer. Anyway, I'm really thinking about how to do that now, but I don't think I can knit them at the same time. Well, I don't know. I have to. Well, I should swatch. I'll swatch the cashmere and see. See, this is the problem. Now I've got this whole thing I'm doing, and now this is a barrier to me starting the hood. This is, you know, so this is like stuff I have to do before I start the hood, and that's the stuff that's going to stop me from starting the hood. I will think about it, but meanwhile, I'm in love with my trove. Oh my gosh, and these colors are so gorgeous. Thank you so much, Megan. OMG. OMG. And it's so nice to be able to just go into in the clear bag. Here, I'll show you. So this is like the perfect coming together of Christmas, because of course these are my advents from last year and this year from Megan that I'm using, and this is the bag that Christy made me for Christmas. So I have all my minis in this bag, and I have it sitting near where I'm sitting, and so then I'm like, what color do I want? And I can see all the colors. It's perfect. The perfect Christmas together. So here are my minis that I am going to be putting in this. I guess I need to think about, oh, I know. I mean, I only have this much more to go, right? In my ball. When I start my new ball, I'll start on the sleeve, because I don't want to get it to be too big when I start on the sleeves, because then it gets bulky and awkward or whatever. There you go, right there. That'll be the signal to pick up the stitches on the sleeve and start a sleeve. I wonder if I could do 2 sleeves at a time. I don't think it's necessary. Aren't these great presents together? I was like, I had my other Advent yarns in the bag, and I thought, wait, that's a waste. Because now I do. Well, as I'm knitting a color, I sit there and like, what color am I going to do next? And they're right there, ready for me to pick. Anyway, as you can tell, I've been having fun with that. And it is so nice to want to knit. My low mojo was such a bummer to me. I cannot tell you how sad it made me that I didn't want to knit. It made me so sad. So this sweater is just the antidote to negative mojo. I'm telling you, I'm so excited. And I really want my Montrealer, so I want to finish that. And you'll remind me, what else have I been? Oh, and I have the Scattered Petals cowl that I'm making out of the Crafty Toads DK weight advent that I got, and it's gorgeous, and I've completely stopped that at the end of December. But I have some knitting to do on that, because that goes to 31 colors, 31 rows or repeats, and so I want to finish that because I'm pretty close with that, and it's so beautiful, and that's going to be warm. So this was a good Advent season for me because, and thank you, Carol, because Carol suggested the hat pattern, which I have very hard time keeping in my brain. And so I can't remember the name of it. Even when I pause and think about it, I can't remember it. But that was so much fun to knit with the trilogy yarn and a few of the Sweet Sparrows sprinkled in. And she suggested the Scattered Petals for the DK. And I took her suggestions and really enjoyed my Advent knitting a lot. A lot. And I'm very glad that I didn't use any of Megan's Advent yarns in the hat, however. So I have them for this sweater, which I love, love, love. So that's nice. I hope you are getting as much joy from your crafting as I have been getting from mine, because it is such a big deal to me to finally have my mojo back. You know, it came back in fits and starts, you know, but yeah. I had a good day yesterday. I enjoyed my day immensely, and I slept really well last night. So I'm in a good mood today. We'll see how that pans out. Dennis is making us fish for dinner. We had leftover chili paneer last night, and so not too many leftovers in the fridge at the moment, so we will be starting to cook. There won't be any leftovers of the fish though. And so we'll start planning menus for this coming week. I can't believe it's Monday already. The time is passing pretty quickly, and as it should. We have Wednesday, it'll be 2 weeks before Pearl can have fun, so we are counting the days till Pearl can have fun. Vicky's coming at the end of the month, so just in time for Pearl to have fun. So that's what's coming up for us. Meanwhile, I guess I'm gonna go. I did my yoga yesterday. I'm gonna do my yoga today. I'm gonna find something to spray. Isn't that hilarious? Not even a bag. I'm like, I hope this is very sturdy, you know, device here, because it was banging around in a UPS truck. Well, probably wasn't banging around, but I mean, the guy who got that must have looked at it and said, is this insane? I've never seen such a thing. So weird. And it's not like he unpacked it for some reason to bring it to the house, because it had this shipping label right on the outside of it. Apparently not stuck too hard, because Dennis was able to clean it last night. Anyway, silly, silly, silly. So we are having the Joyous 2025 make along. Anything that any fiber related thing you're doing that is bringing you joy qualifies. There's a thread on the Flame and Fiber podcast Ravelry group, and we would love to see you. There's going to be periodic prizes. I've had several people offer prizes. Megan is going to dye a skein of yarn for us, and Carol and Valerie have both offered prizes. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. And yeah, so we'll at least have quarterly prizes, and I will there'll be a pattern prize and a physical prize every once in a while. We'll see how many prizes we get. That'll be fun. Of course, I have yarn I could give too. Really, Barb? You have yarn? All right, I'm going now. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is healthy. Please, please, please take good care of yourselves. Stay safe and stay sane.